Yo, 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 hype beast, Poppy Chulo up in the building. Hype beast, hype beast. Anyway, we're going to talk about the MPC Key 61. Just some thoughts after having it for 2 weeks. I got mine, I think, on the 25th. Today is July 9th. I think that's around 2 weeks. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. I'm getting some old text messages for some reason. Anyway, is it worth it? This is a very relative thing because every producer's needs and wants are completely different. But for me, as a person who loves samples, and before I got into MPC keys, I mean, I have a live too, I have a Ren, but I was definitely going more towards the Octatrack way. And I still have my Octatrack, it's sitting right there. But after I got the Key 61, I haven't touched the Octatrack in a while because it's just so easy and it makes beats fun where you could just do it for all day. And unfortunately, I can't do beats all day because I be having limited time because I gotta go to work or like my kids are doing something crazy upstairs. It's just like you just the time to do beats. So sometimes using like stuff that's really esoteric like the Octatrack, which is dope. It's one of my favorite samplers, but I don't have the time to go in as deep. This thing, I just go in. Like, bruh, I swear, like the workflow, it guides you to the next thing. It makes you make beats easy. And if you already have sounds, like if you already have drums and you know how to sample, you're not like, like first time ever sampling. Like me, I've been sampling a long time, so I know how to sample. I know how to and I love the Akai preamps that to use like phono and to use like old turntables. Like I use Technics. I think those are MK2s or maybe MK3s. I'm not sure, but they're the old school Technics, and they're connected to my MPC Live. I had the Live just running out off the battery, but I forgot to put the plug on, so it's dead. But I'm gonna go find a plug and plug it up. But I just been using my Live as a preamp, basically as a as a mixer, and just flipping stuff that way. And I'm having so much fun. This thing is awesome, guys. And I'm not a person who was given this. Like literally, there's only been one company that ever like sent me something, and that was Poly In, and they sent me like a T-shirt and a sweater and like some more goodies. But it was just because I made content and they saw what I was doing and what I bring to the community. So I don't really get shit for free. Like I'm not like these big YouTubers. I want to be like that. Like that's my goal, but I'm just not there yet. Hopefully we can get there. All right. The MPC Key 61 workflow is hella different. I'm still mad about the IO situation, and this is just me personally, and it's just my main gripe. I wish that it had a phono input just because the live have one. And the homie who made the video, I don't know his name, but shout out to him. He was talking about they didn't want to, make it like the X. I'm not really worried about the X. I'm just worried about, the live and having that phono input. That's just the one thing that I do wish it had. Like I would be so happy if it had that, just because I wouldn't have to use my live as a go between. I could just literally go straight from my old ass Technics, which have a phono, which is not it's similar to RCA guys, but it's different. Like the level is very low, so you gotta have a preamp. And the Akai preamps, they awesome. Like they figured it out. They've been having some good ass preamps for a while. If you do have a MPC Live, a One, a X, it's all the same software. So it's just a different case. But with it being a different case and being in keyboard form, it changes it so much. So like everybody who keeps saying like, oh, bro, so I can literally just go get it. I can have my MPC and go get a mini keyboard, and it's exactly the same as getting MPC keys. It's not. Like I get it, it's similar, but it's not. Like you don't have to turn, you don't have to do nothing. You just look down. You sample your stuff in and then it's on the keys, all across 61 keys. That's game changing for a guy like me. Maybe not you guys. I don't know. Like I never got a ASR or had a real long chance to play with them. You know, I've only had them like mess like sparingly. So like I don't really know the ASR workflow. But when I watch videos, it looks like that shit is slow as fuck. It looks like it's clunky. Yeah, everyone's like it sounds so good, but the editing, bruh, like you can edit, you can do some amazing stuff in this MPC key. And like we said, it's the same software. So if you already know the MPC software, you're lit. Like you're lit. Like it's just literally no like, oh, I need to go through the owner's manual. No, bro. You just turn that mess on, and you start cooking. You look and figure out where the buttons are. There, but it's very easy to get comfortable with it, if that makes sense. The I do like that, even though I wish it had a tilting, like an actual articulation on the screen. There is a slight tilt to it, so that is dope. You can't be too mad about it because you can see it. And old man, like I'm not old, but eyes do change as you get older. So it's important to have a tilt or something, a screen that moves so you can get it at the right angle. And everybody, like light situation isn't the same. So something that a guy needs to think about. Smaller pads. I'm coming from an MPC Live. I never had an X. I wanted an X, but I remember when the X first came out, people was complaining about it, so it kind of left a bad taste, like almost the MPC 5000, which I had one of those too before, and I sold it. But I really loved the 5000. That was one that I definitely wish I never sold. But um, it's dope, guys. The NBC whatever one pads that they're using, they're not bad. You don't feel like, oh shit, these are too small, my fingers are too big. Like you get it, you start cooking. Um, there's one thing that I'm seeing a lot of people. They're just like, maybe it's because these units are selling out quick, or they're feeling like only the people who are talking about it have got them from Akai. Well, just know I did not get mine from Akai. I went to Guitar Center. I was like, hey, what's up with this MPC key? She looked in the computer. She was like, yeah, there's one in the back. I don't even know if we're able to sell those yet, or is it even released? She didn't even realize it was released. It had already been released like 2 days. But that's how it happens. And when you live in a smaller town, a more sleepier town, that people aren't on it like you. So you just got to be first in line and go get it. Um, you have to own it to understand. It's just a feeling of you're not going to really know what we're talking about unless you have one in front of you. And then when you have one in front of you, it's going to feel weird because it's still an NPC, but you're used to NPC just being the little box with the little pads, the 16 pads. This isn't that. This has keys on it now. So it just creates a different workflow where you can like literally make chord progressions, sample those in, then make a drum pattern from that, or a drum program from that, and then take that drum program and like do your chops. It's crazy for people who are keyboard players. It's amazing for people who are not keyboard players. It's still amazing. Do not listen to people who say this is only for keyboard players. This is not. This is for everybody. This is going to make everybody better keyboard players because it's going to introduce you to more keys, guys. I know a lot of us NPC guys have our MIDI keyboards on the side, but it's different when it's right there. The sounds button. It's dope. You could just hit the down button like I could just hit sounds and be like, oh, go into my drum program sounds or go into my synth sounds. It's a lot of sounds. It's worth getting the keys. I don't know, I did a show last night called No-Fi. That's a show I created in Colorado where I was trying to make my own law in theory. We do like kind of beat ciphers, but it's just basically hip hop. So it's producer rappers, rappers come through. It's just a hip hop show, but it's very boom bap driven, and it's funny because all my homies are mostly boom bap type of like sample based producers. So it's just everybody just gets it. A whole bunch of SPs everywhere, but my homie was telling me that he had bought the synth, like the $500 pack, the bundle. He was like, I love it with my one. He's like, I like the keys, but it's this is perfect for what he's doing. So, like, hey, to each his own. But I feel like for the price of the keys, like maybe yeah, it should have been maybe like 14.99. But with the little software, with the little new little sprinkled in there, it's worth it, y'all. And like get some credit, like go, like go. You can buy stuff, and like I'm buying mine on like a 4-year plan, so it's like literally like super cheap every month for 4 years. And I feel like in the next 4 years, I'm definitely gonna be so much litter on the MPC key, but also on this YouTube shit. Like I just love this YouTube shit. So please, if you haven't, subscribe below. Analytics is telling me only 12% of you guys are subscribing, but we can fix that. Let's get to at least 23% so we could be on our Jordan shit. Fade away anyway. Alright, buying the sounds versus buying the keys. I basically just talked about that, but I feel like buying the keys is, for me, it was more worth it than buying the five. I wouldn't have bought the $500 sounds. I probably wouldn't have even got the demo, to be honest, because I wouldn't want to tempt myself. I've got so many demos. Like I think it was the Frank Dukes demo. Like he came out with a synth, and I never bought it, but I had the demo, and that shit was so fire. And I made so many things that I never like bounced to audio. So like when the demo doesn't work, it was like, oh yeah.